Alright, what's up guys? So today what I'm gonna talk about is my personal advice or my personal tips on how to stay safe on the road. I might miss out on some things, or I might have my own views. So for those of you who want to add on, you can just comment in the comment section. It'll be nice to hear what you guys have to say. So, tip number one, you gotta know your bike. And when I mean know your bike, not just know it, you know how to maintain it. So for example, you gotta know if your bike has ABS or traction control, all those functions, so you know how to use them, and you know how to brake with an ABS and without an ABS, because the bike handles differently. And also maintain, so you need to change your brakes, change it, you need to settle your tires, your clutch, your brake fluids, get them all sorted out. Because the way to stay safe is to make sure your bike or your equipment is working at 100%. Alright? If it's not, probably it will fail when you need it. So that's the last thing we want. So the first tip is keep your bike in good condition and know your bike well. Alright, tip number 2. Your riding gear is important. Alright, I'll explain two things. One is your best case scenario, and one is a more practical solution. So the best case is to be fully geared, meaning full face helmet, a riding jacket which is armored, you got armored gloves, you got the riding jeans because they have some sea level protection also, and of course your armored riding boots. These are all essential items, I would say. Okay, so if you don't have that kind of protection, sometimes it's hot, like Singapore it's super hot. So what I wear is, I have a full face helmet, I do wear riding boots. I'm wearing a TCX TCX waterproof riding boots. It's pretty good. There's a lot of times where I accidentally kicked into stuff. It's pretty solid. I'm just wearing a regular jeans, and I'm just wearing a long sleeves with a normal jacket, gloves. I have armored glove, but it's waterproof, so I carry it in my bag together with my raincoat. I use it when it rains. So the least you can do is to make sure you're fully clothed, because in our country or Singapore, our riding schools / driving schools teach us to be fully covered. So this is the least you can be. I'll probably invest in some summer gloves, like those thin armored ones, and maybe a mesh jacket. It depends where I get posted to. If I have to travel far, probably I'll get it. So that's what I mean by safe gear. Alright, tip number 3. The way you position your bike in the lane is important. Right now, I have no one in front of me. Pretty much behind me is nothing. So what I like to do is I like to take the whole lane, right in the middle. So I'll ride like a car, take up the whole lane. But if I end up riding behind another car and I don't see a need to overtake or lane split, what I like to do is I like to position a bit to the left or right, depending. The reason why I put on the left is, one, I have a path to escape. So let's say the car jams brake, I can swerve. 2, I can see quite far ahead, because from the left I can see what's happening in front. The reason why you don't ride in the middle behind a car is, one, you can't see far ahead. Some cars you can look through the back mirror and you can see through the car, but most of them, they have it tinted, so you can't really see it, and you end up slamming into them. On the right lane of the highway, I don't like to keep on the right because I have no means of escape. So here is the most ideal position for riding. If you're on the left lane, I will most likely ride somewhere here. So this is the positioning where I will be. So that is my next tip. And also because most of the time the middle of the road tends to be oily, because that's where the car is going to leak out the oil. So it's best to stay like where the tires are. So this is the best position. Alright, the next tip, don't ride like a maniac. I know it's obvious, but there are a lot of people who like to speed. Speeding straight like this, still okay, but you still gotta be careful. What I mean is by don't lane change and swerve in and out of traffic. We are motorcycles, we are small. It's a high chance the car doesn't even see you until like you're probably what, 5 meters behind them. So that's why you gotta be careful, you know, don't ride like a maniac. Alright, the next tip. I know a lot of us like to modify our bike. There's two things I want to say. One, a loud exhaust is good. Of course, make sure it's legal. I'm riding with the Akrapovic slip-on. It's loud, but it's not too annoying. So a few times where the drivers do hear me and they know that I'm there. Second one is you make sure you have good light. So your headlight and your signals, make sure they are working and they are bright, both front and back. And if you need to change your horn to make it louder, by all means please do. It does help a lot. Alright, next tip. If you need to ride in the rain, try not to. It's most dangerous to ride in the rain. But if you have to, what my advice is, be careful when it just starts to rain. Alright, the reason why I'm saying that when it starts to rain, the oil is going to come out from the road and it's going to become very slippery. If it's been raining for a while and it's heavy, if you're to ride, it's probably safer because the rain's already washed out the oil. So all you have is just water. Just need to be careful of huge puddle of water. You don't want to get aquaplaning. And another thing is, if it's very cold and it's been drizzling for 3 or 4 days, what I tend to realize is the road tends to be even more slippery. So please be careful. Alright, next tip. If you're going to ride two up or if you're going to pillion someone behind, take note that your braking distance increases, your braking distance increases. It's harder to accelerate. I mean, it takes longer to reach this acquired speed that you want. It's more difficult to swerve your bike and it's less maneuverable. And obviously it's more heavy. Moreover, if your passenger is not a good pillion, if he or she keeps moving around, for those of you who pillion, you know that your bike will swerve. So the least you can do is to remind your pillion to hold on to you and not to move unnecessarily. And of course, tell them to, when you lean into a turn, ask them to either stay straight or lean in. The worst pillion is when they start leaning the other way. It is very annoying. So yeah, tell them. Next tip, learn to counter steer. It's a faster way to turn, it's safer. In riding school they don't teach us how to counter steer, they tell us how to turn normally. What I mean by counter steering, if you want to go left, you push left. If you want to go right, you push right. So how it works is like this. Alright, you see my left hand, push left and your bike goes to the left. Same thing, if I want to go right, let me see if it's clear, push right and your bike swerves right. It's easy to corner, it's easy to turn, and that's how I swerve out of danger. It reacts faster. So counter steering is important. The next tip I have, it's a very personal take on what I see on the road. There are a few people or there are a few vehicles you need to keep in mind. Taxi drivers, Mercedes, BMW, heavy vehicles like this, lorry. And number 5, Malaysian motorcycles, for those of you who ride in Singapore. Reason being, taxi drivers, they're always rushing for passengers. The worst are Transcab. The worst of the worst go there. They don't care about you, they'll just drive like maniacs. Most of the time the taxi drivers that almost kill me are them. Mercedes, most of the demographic that drives them or owns them is either very old guys or very young ladies, most of them driving their father's car or their own. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but what I see is mostly these two. They don't check their blind spot and they drive like they're super blur, like they have no idea what's going on beside them. Number 3, BMW, like the one right in front of me. Those kind of cars are driven by young adults or middle-aged adults. They tend to be the most aggressive. Road rage most of the time I get is from BMW. Yeah, they're very aggressive on the roads. Even though they're in the wrong, they're going to just shout at you. So just be careful of them. Heavy vehicles, it's because they can't see you. And a lot of accidents in Singapore is with motorcycle and heavy vehicles. It's quite scary though, the recent accidents in 2019. So what you want to do is keep an eye out for heavy vehicles. Quickly overtake them if you can and stay out of their way. Lastly, Malaysian motorcycles, they disregard all traffic over here. Some of them are fine, but most of them are crazy. They will tailgate you, they'll cut you. It's pretty scary to ride in front of them or even behind them. So yeah, just keep an eye out for them. So these are my few tips I can give you based on my experience on how to be a safer rider. If you have more, add it in the comment section. If not, do like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you guys again with another video. Alright, see you guys.